Hey, greetings everyone from our home to yours. I hope that this finds you safe and well. Happy Sunday. Our scripture for today comes from Matthew chapter 5, verses 21 through 26. It says, "You have heard that it was said to our ancestors, 'Do not murder, and whoever murders will be subject to judgment.' But I tell you, everyone who is angry with his brother or sister will be subject to judgment. Whoever insults his brother or sister will be subject to the court. Whoever says, 'You fool,' will be subject to hellfire. So if you are offering your gift on the altar, and there you remember that your brother or sister has something against you, leave your gift there in front of the altar. First go and be reconciled with your brother or sister, and then come and offer your gift. Reach a settlement quickly with your adversary while you are on the way with him to court, or your adversary will hand you over to the judge, and the judge to the officer, and you will be thrown into prison. Truly, I tell you, you will never get out of there until you've paid the last penny." In this passage, Jesus is teaching about the law and what the Mosaic Law and the Ten Commandments teach about murder. The law says, "Do not murder," or you've heard it the old way, "Thou shalt not kill." You see, in Jesus' time, you could get away with murder through various loopholes. You could not have a body, or you could just pay someone to be a false witness. And that's kind of where we get the commandment, "Thou shalt not bear false witness," which is morphed into "don't lie." And in Jesus' time, you could pay to have someone be a false witness or two. And if you had more false witnesses that you paid for than actual witnesses, then you would win because there were more false witnesses or more witnesses that counteracted the true witnesses. If Jesus was going through the trouble of talking about this, then it makes sense that there's a lot going on that we need to look at. And then we need to find out why he's teaching us about this. So I think that Jesus taught this to stop the way of thinking that the Pharisees and the religious leaders at that time thought about the law. They thought if there was no body and if there was no witnesses, that you got away with murder. But Jesus says that even if we get mad, then we are guilty of murder. He teaches us that even if we are angry at our brother or sister, then we will be subject to judgment. And then he even ramps that statement up and says that if we insult them, then we will be judged. And if we call them a fool, then we will be sent to hellfire. So really what Jesus is teaching us about is not so much murder. He's teaching us about the danger of anger. You see, anger starts in our hearts and our minds. And if we get mad, we keep letting it fester in there, then we will eventually insult someone, we will do something, and then we will call them a fool. And then increasing with that, if we keep letting it go, it could lead to assault and maybe even murder. I cannot adequately describe to you how important Jesus' words and teachings about anger actually are. And I don't think that we give him enough credit for what he's teaching us about anger. If we were to let social media indicate the status of our society and culture, it would show us that everybody's angry all the time now. You can watch videos on YouTube about people absolutely losing it over cold French fries. Anger is probably one of the most destructive and dangerous emotions that we humans have. I believe that anger has probably ruined more lives than drugs, alcohol, and cancer combined. Anger will first start hurting and then will eventually kill you from the inside out. Ask your doctor and they will tell you, they're probably already telling you that stress is dangerous, that stress is a killer. Well, anger helps fuel that stress, and stress helps fuel that anger. And it just becomes one of those things in your life that is killing you from the inside out. We're mad at work, we're mad at family, we're mad at traffic, we're mad at the news, we're mad at the opposite, political party. We're just mad at the world. And that anger keeps gnawing away at us, and it's causing harm to us and to others. And if we continue to let it go, it will cause great harm to us and to others. I'm not saying don't get angry. I'm saying control it. I'm saying get past the anger. Just let it go. And what Jesus is telling us here as we go through that passage is that if we are trying to worship God, trying to do good, but we have something stuck in our minds and our hearts against someone, then we are to leave the altar, leave the church, and go and reconcile with those who we are angry with. To reconcile, or reconciliation, is the practice of resolving the differences or arguments. It is the mending of broken relationships. It's bringing peace, wholeness. To me, it's really clear that there is great danger to us and to others if we continue to let our anger grow, because it will eventually explode. Jesus says it's like we're murdering one another. And after we've murdered someone, we can't fix that relationship. So may we go this week and know that our anger, left unchecked, is dangerous to us and others. And may we find ways to reconcile and bring peace in our lives and then in the lives of others. Grace and peace to you. God bless you.